Hello students, welcome to science class of standard 10th. We are studying about chapter number 10, light reflection and refraction, and this will be going to be the last part of this chapter. In the previous parts we have seen about the light and we have seen about reflection, its laws, and we have seen so many things about mirrors also, and we have seen there are two types of mirror: concave mirror, convex mirror. And then we have seen some important terms related to mirror, that are pole, center of curvature, radius of curvature, principal axis, and also we have seen one more, that was aperture. Then we have seen certain cases about the image formation. Today we are going to see about if we are going to solve the sums related to this. So we have to see about some sign conventions. If every time we have to measure the distance of the object and image from the pole. If it is going from left side from the pole, the distance from the left, the answer will, the value or the digit will be negative. If we are going the right side from the pole, the value of the digit will always be in the positive number. If we are measuring the height of the image that are upward, it will be in the positive, and if we are measuring the height downward, the height will be in the negative terms. Then we are going to say about magnification. Magnification means how much enlarged before saying magnification, we are going to say about the mirror formula, that is 1 by v equals to 1 by u plus 1 by f. V means the image distance, u means the object distance, and f is denoted by focal length. Then magnification means how much enlarged the image is, image obtained after being reflected. Once the image we get after reflected, how much magnified or how much enlarged the images get. To find out it, there is a formula, m equals to h dash upon h. It means height of image upon height of object. Now we are going to study about refraction of light. When a ray of light is incident on a medium, there are certain possibilities of incident ray. One is a light is reflected, another is this light is transmitted from one medium to another medium, or that ray of light get absorbed in that particular medium. The reflected, transmitted and absorbed depends on the object. If the object is opaque, it reflects most of the light. If it is a transparent object, it transmits most of the light. Reflection or transmission depends on the object. If a mirror is there, then a ray of light gets reflected back. If it is a glass, then the ray of light gets transmission from one medium to another. Now, what is refraction of light? Bending of light when it travels from one medium to another is known as refraction of light. When an incident light gets refracted back into another medium and with the same angle is known as refraction. It gets bends. Now, take one example. It's a glass slab. An incident ray will pass through the glass slab obliquely. Obliquely means slantly. So when it is incident, it is neither parallel nor perpendicular. It gets refracted into another medium. So one is medium air. From air, it gets incident into the refracted into the glass slab. The another medium is of glass slab. So what this two medium known as? Air and glass. Air is known as an incident medium and glass is known as a refractive medium. So this bending, again, when the light moves out from glass, out of the glass slab, it again enters into the air. So again it gets bends outwards into the air medium. In both the way it gets bends. if first we can draw a normal, so we can see that how much it bends, and it will create an angle. First, it is in incident medium, it will make an angle of incident ray with the normal. Angle made by refracted ray with the normal is known as angle of refraction, and it is denoted by small r. Now, what is refraction and what is change in the direction of light? What is slant incident ray? And if incident ray perpendicular with refraction occur, these are certain questions which we will solve. Up to now we have studied that an incident ray and one refracted ray, and the refraction of light means bending of light when light travels from one medium to another medium, and we have studied about the change. Now we are going to study about the change in direction. So what happens about the change in direction of light? When the direction is changed, the speed of light is also changed. That when light enters from incident ray to the refracted ray, there will be change in the speed. So the speed of the light will be changed. Speed of light in vacuum will be 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. So when a light enters from air to the glass slab, the speed will be decreased. But again, this light enters from glass slab to air, the speed will increase. Change in speed of light and also there will be change in direction of light. What happens if the light travels in a straight? It is not in any angle. If the change, it will go straight, then what will happen about the speed? But it does not bend, so there will be no change in the speed because it will travel straight. Only if it is incident with a certain angle, there will be change in the speed. Incident ray and the refracted ray will make certain angles, and there will be change in the angle. There will be change in the speed. When the light enters from air to glass, it bends towards the normal, and when light enters from glass to air, it will bend away from the normal. It means when light enters from optically rarer medium to optical denser medium, it bends towards the normal. And when the ray enters from optical denser medium to optical rarer medium, it bends away from the normal. What is optical rarer and denser? First we see optical medium means a medium through which light can propagate. What about rarer and denser? Rarer and denser. If refractive medium is optically rarer, speed of light will increase. If the refractive medium is optically denser, then speed of light will decrease. When light enters from optical rarer medium to optical denser medium, speed will decrease and will bend towards the normal. This is summary, students. When light enters from optical denser medium to optical rarer medium, speed will increase and it will bend away from the normal. Okay, let's take one more example. Instead of glass slab, we take example of water. There is a denser medium. When light ray enters from air to the water, will the incident ray in both the case will be same? So this is denoted as I1 in water, and it's denoted as I in the glass slab. So I1 will be equal to I, means the speed will be the angle will be same in the incident. But what about refraction? In the water, the speed of the light will be more as compared to the glass slab. So refraction will depends on the material medium also. What happens when light is incident on the surface of a transparent object? When the light is incident in the surface of a transparent object, the incident ray will reflect back or it will refract back. or either it is absorbed. So there are three possibilities: reflect, refract, or absorb. In the previous part we have studied about the roles of reflection. Do you remember that? What was that? Or shall we recall it? The first was angle of incidence and angle of reflection are equal. Second, incident ray, reflected ray and the normal all lie in the same plane. Now we are going to study about laws of refraction. First, what is refraction? Change in direction of the light as it passes across the boundary separating two media caused by change in its speed. When a light passes from optically rarer medium to optically denser medium, there will be change in the speed as well as it will move towards the normal. Or it will move from denser to rarer, it will move away from the normal or towards the normal. If a ray of light is perpendicular, there will be no change in the speed. Second law of reflection was incident ray, the reflected ray and normal all lie in the same plane. That is only will be going to be the first law of refraction, that all the three, incident ray, the refracted ray and the normal at the point of incident all lie in the same plane. That means if I take a piece of paper, everything will be in that sheet of paper. It will not be out of that paper. It means it will be on the same plane. The second law of refraction, it is also known as Snell's law. The relation between the incident and the refraction angles and the refractive indices of the medium. What is the refractive index of a medium? The extent to which the refractive medium increases or decreases the speed of light. The speed of light in the incident medium up to the speed of light in the refractive medium is known as Snell's law. It means n2 by n2 1. It means that n2 with respect to 1. It is also denoted by v1 upon v2. It means the refractive index of medium 1 with respect to medium 2. The extent to which light changes its direction in the refractive medium. One more way we can understand the Snell's law is that there is one medium from to another medium, there will be refraction and there will be different angles. It will be in the same ratios and the answer will be a constant number. It means sin I upon sin r will be n2 with respect to 1. It means that both the angles will be of the constant ratios. Means the incident medium and the refractive medium will be equal to v1 upon v2. These are certain values of absolute refractive index. That refractive index of a medium with respect to vacuum. It means if example of water, it is denoted means 1.33. We can also find in terms of n1 and n2. The answer will be a constant medium. So speed of light, it is with the speed of light in vacuum which is not changed, only v1 and v2 is changed. So that will be cutted out. The answer we will get will be v1 upon v2. It is also known as the Snell's law. Total internal reflection. When the light goes from a denser medium to a rarer medium, it bends away from the normal, which we have seen now. The angle at which the incident ray causes the refracted ray to go along the surface of the two media parallelly is called critical angle. When the incident angle is greater than the critical angle or the refracted angle, in another language, critical angle you can also tell a refracted angle, it reflects inside the denser medium instead of refracting. This phenomenon is known as total internal reflection. As you can see by this figure, very nicely we can understand how the bending of the light takes place. One more example through which you can understand about the refraction. You can also take a water filled full of glass. You can take a glass full of water. In that, you can dip a pencil and keep it in a slanting way. As you keep seeing it constantly, you will find it the pencil in a broken way. Means the pencil has been broken into two pieces. To understand more about refraction, we have to understand about the lens. As about understanding of reflection, we have learned about mirror. In the same way, to study about refraction, we have to study about lens. A transparent material bounded by two surfaces, of which one or both the surfaces are spherical, form a lens. There are two types of lenses. Convex lenses means converging lenses, and concave lenses means diverging lenses. So these are the example of convex and concave lenses. As you can see, first one is a convex lens, as it is a as we have seen, the first one is a convex lens, yes, and it's a converging lens, and the next one is a concave lens, it's a diverging lens. Now, important terms related to lens that are, first one is a pole. You can find it the midpoint of a symmetrical center of a spherical lens is known as optical center. It is also known as pole. In between of the lens you can find it. Principal axis is an imaginary line passing through the center. Center of curvature, there will be two center of curvature on both the sides. It will be C1 and C2. There will be two principal focus on both the side of the lenses, that will be F1 and F2. I hope now you must be knowing what are the point, mean center of curvature or radius of curvature or focus, focal length, as we have already studied about it in the previous parts. Now, important term related to lens. Now we are going to see about the position of the object image, its size and the nature of the image. So these are the certain cases, means if the object is at infinite distance, so where the image will be formed on the either side at the F2. You can see on the at the focus means at F2, and the image will be highly diminished, or you can tell point size. And you also have to remember that whenever we are talking about convex lens, the image the nature of the image will be real and inverted in most of the cases except one case, as you can see in this table, and this table is very much important. You have to by heart it. So these are all the cases. What happens? Second case is if the object is at beyond 2f1. So where will the image will be formed? Image will be formed between f2 and 2f2, and the image will be small in size, and it will be real and inverted. What will happen when the object is at 2f1? The image will be formed at 2f2. What will happen if the object is between 2f1 and f1? The image will be beyond 2f2. What will happen if the object is at f1 and the image will be formed at infinity? What will happen when the object will be between f1 and pole, and the image will be formed behind the 2f1 means beyond, and it will be virtual and erect. Only in the last case virtual and erect image is formed, and it will be enlarged. So these are the few terms which we have seen, and now the same way you can see about the concave lenses also. And the last topic that we are going to study is power of the lens. It is denoted by small p. It's defined as the reciprocal of the focal length of the lens. The SI unit of the power of the lens is diopter. It is denoted by symbol d. If focal length f is in meter, then 1d equals to 1 meter raised to minus 1, means focal length will be power means 1 upon focal length. In short, p equals to 1 upon f. You can write it in that way. The power of convex lens is positive, its f is positive. that of a concave lens is negative, f is negative. You have to remember which lens f is positive and which lens f is negative. When an optician prescribes a corrective lens, a power of the lens is given. Let us say lens prescribed by power of 2 diopter. This means that the power prescribed is a convex lens. The focal length is positive 5 meter. Similarly, the lens is minus 2.5 diopter. The focal length will be minus 40 meter. The lens is a concave lens. Here we are ending up the chapter. The question answers are mentioned in the PDF. Thank you. Next we will meet with a new chapter.